right, we are back with our finals here at the Canadian Junior Short Track Championships. We're on to the finals in the 1,000 meters. We're going to go with the bottom group female, bottom group male, top group female, top group male. So we have 4 skaters in this race. We've got Marianne Gay, Béatrice Delorme, Alison Saunier, and Eliane Martin. 4 skaters on the line. Currently in the lead is number 2, Béatrice Delorme, now passed by Alison Saunier. Eliane Martin into second place. 3 laps to go. Saunier in the lead. Eliane Martin, deuxième. Marianne Gay, troisième. Béatrice Delorme, quatrième. So they take the bell. It is Saunier continuing to lead this race. At the line, Alison Saunier takes the win. That was the C final in the bottom bracket. So once again, to recap, we're going to go from the bottom to the top of the bottom, then the bottom to the top of the bottom for the men. Then we'll go D to A and D to A for the top bracket. That was about as confusing as I could possibly say it. So stay tuned with us and you will see how it's going to actually roll out, but we will be making sure that we save the exciting races for the end. Two skaters on the line here in our B final on the bottom bracket. Ariane Bourget, Ariel Paquet, deux patineurs en piste, 9 tours de piste. À faire, présentement en première place, Bourget, Paquet. J'imagine qu'on va avoir une course assez lente pour la majorité de la course, mais on va sûrement voir un sprint vers la fin. Ces patineurs sont en train de faire leur dernière course de la fin de semaine. Pace picking up now. Ariane Bourget leading the pack. Now Ariel Paquet moving into three laps to go. We've got a good little heads-up battle going on here. We are deep into Sunday afternoon at the Canadian Junior Short Track Championships. We hear the bell, and it is going to be Ariane Bourget leading this race to the line. Let's see if Ariel Paquet can make a pass. Will be Bourget, Paquet in the F final there. So we move on to the E final. We'll have 5 skaters in our E final. As we see there, our producers managed to put on the screen the order of the finals in a way that's much better and more clearly written than the way I was able to say it. So as you can see, we're going with the women bottom bracket, men bottom bracket, women top bracket, and the men top bracket. This is the final E for the women. 5 skaters on the line. Hee-Wan Son of Alberta, Anne Boudreau-Alexandre of Quebec, Maud Tremblay of Quebec, Abby Young of Alberta, and Flavie Laroche-Roy, skater from Quebec. With the sound of the gun, the skaters are off. Points are on the line here in this 1,000-meter E final. It's been an exciting weekend of racing so far here at the Olympic Oval. Don't forget that the Oval will be having the Santa Skate. Bring a perishable food item on December 23rd between noon and 8 p.m. Skate for only a toonie. Big guy Santa will be here, but before Santa gets to come by the Oval and get ready for Christmas, we've got a few more races to go, and Hee-Wan Son is currently leading the race that is on the ice right now. Abby Young in second. Maud Tremblay sitting in third. Anne Boudreau-Alexandre in fourth. Flavie Laroche-Roy currently bringing up the rear. Hee-Wan Son looking strong in the front. 4 laps to go. Now Anne Boudreau-Alexandre on the inside, moving from fourth to third. The 2 skaters currently training at the Oval here in Calgary, leading this race, looking to hold their positions in 1 and 2. Now Maud Tremblay working on the outside, but looks like that pass isn't going to work. Boudreau-Alexandre moves from third into second with a tight inside pass. Hee-Wan Son holding on to the lead. She comes through in the last half a lap. Flavie Laroche-Roy now into third position. Hee-Wan Son tentative last corner, but she comes around. And I did see a small fist bump there, so good race by Hee-Wan Son. She seems to be happy with that race. And a good way for her to finish up the 1,000 meters here. So with that, we're moving on to the bottom bracket of the men's 1,000 meters, the E2 H final, starting with the H final. F final will only have 1 skater. So we'll just have 3 finals here. Nicolas Perrault all alone in that H final, so he won't be racing. So we are in the G final. Seems we just have 3 skaters on the line. Looks like Seamus Smith of New Brunswick not taking the start. So we've got Drake Foo of Alberta, Antoine Gagnon-Lamarche, and Jérôme Pedersen-Coulombe. So currently Foo leading past by Antoine Gagnon-Lamarche. Foo now working on the outside. Pedersen-Coulombe not having any of that. Gagnon-Lamarche now moving on the inside, bumping Gagnon-Lamarche wide, but he still maintains his first position. Strong technical skater, Jérôme Pedersen-Coulombe currently in the lead now. Gagnon-Lamarche passing him. Drake Foo, Ontario in third. Pedersen-Coulombe now opening up the throttle a little bit, dropping an arm and starting to pull away. As they come past the finish line here, they will have 2 laps to go. It's Pedersen-Coulombe, Gagnon-Lamarche, Drake Foo. Foo looking resigned to third place as they take the bell. A good little battle here between Guyana Marche and Pedersen Coulomb in the lead. Guyana Marche deciding not worth it to dive in this last race of the 1,000 meters for them. No change of position. It will be Jérôme Pedersen Coulomb unofficially from Anton Guyana Marche and Drake Fu. Moving on to the F final. 4 skaters on the line. Four skaters on the line for this next. The F final, Paul Coder representing Alberta, Simon Daudelin of Quebec, Julien Armand of Quebec, and Roger Fulton of New Brunswick. We'll be working our way up to the A finals for both men and women. The women's A final will feature Alison Charles, Danae Blais, Renee Stinge, and Courtney Sarrault, while the men's final will feature Marc-Olivier Lemay, Gibson Imbeau, Vincent Girard, Alexander Hale, and David Larue. But we are currently in the men's F final. Paul Coder, Simon Daudelin, Julien Armand, and Roger Fulton. Armand wearing the 3, Daudelin the 2, Fulton the 4, Coder the 1. Pace very relaxed early. Paul Coder deciding to take advantage of that slow pace and move up into second place. Fulton tried to pass there, pulled the trigger, rolling inside. Deciding contact, not a good idea. Paul Coder now still continues to lead from Armand. Daudelin. Coder continues to lead. Armand building up a bit of speed. See if he's going to look to set up a pass. Here he goes. Picking up speed and now hooking on the inside. Smooth pass. Now a 2-man race here. Julien Armand, Paul Coder. Only 1 lap to go. And it looks like it will be Julien Armand at the line, taking the F final. So now move into moving on to the E final. 4 skaters on track. Casque numéro 1, Jacob Savard. Casque numéro 2, Charles-Émile Julien Dion. Casque numéro 3, Jean-Sébastien Beaune. And on the outside, wearing helmet cover number 4, Adrian Rudy. Skating out of the Toronto Club in Ontario. And it is Rudy into the early lead. Savard second. Very slow race here. Possibly some fatigue in the legs after a long weekend of racing. This is looking more like the pace of a 1,500 meters. Adrien Rudy continues to lead here, but passing him is Jean-Sébastien Beaune. Savard in third, Beaune continuing to lead. 4 laps to go. Beaune looking comfortable in the front, both hands on his back as he continues to wind up the pace. Rudy now tries to pass shoulder to shoulder, and Rudy can't hold the corner, and down he goes. Beaune now back in the lead with Jacob Savard in second. Beaune looking to pull away from Savard. We'll see if he or Jean Dion can catch up with Jean-Sébastien Beaune, but Beaune, with only half a lap to go, looks to be well in control. As they come to the line, unofficially, Sébastien Beaune will win this E-final. Good sportsmanship there between Beaune, Jean Dion, and Savard. I'm sure those 3 skaters have raced together many times over the years. So we continue our progression towards the A finals. We move into the women's top bracket, starting with the D final. 4 skaters on the line. As the tension continues to build here at the Olympic Oval. In that break, there was a lot of discussion about the drama we saw on the men's side. Some crunching of numbers to see what's possible for the skaters to do, depending on how they finish in the next race. From a coach's point, some of them want to know what the points are so they can provide instruction to their skaters. Some of the skaters would rather not know, though, knowing that if they go out and win a race, that's all they can do. The rest will take care of itself. In the previous race, we did have a disqualification for number 71, Adrien Rudy. So Adrien Rudy was wearing number 4 head cover in that last race. Adrien Rudy penalized for impeding. These skaters are underway. D final for the women's 1,000 meter. Wearing helmet number 1, Karina Momini. Helmet cover number 2, Claudia Heaney of Ontario, currently sitting at the back of the pack. Sabrina Paul wearing number 3, and our current race leader from New Brunswick, Ricky Doak. Bit of a shoulder check there. Heaney taking advantage of that and moving into second. Of course, contact is allowed in short track. It's often a consequence of the shoulder-to-shoulder tight racing here on the 111-meter track. Now Doak having a good battle with Momini and Doak and Paul all go down. 3 skaters going down there. Only Heaney left on her feet. All skaters now back on their feet. As we see the replay here, they come out of the corner. Doak leading. That's Momini going up the inside. Close with Doak. Not quite ahead, but there's some contact there. Sabrina Paul back in third, just getting caught up in that. She hits a block and goes down as well. Don't like to see those crashes with multiple people at the same time. Fine line here between being aggressive and being too aggressive. And Ricky Doak trying to protect her spot there from Momini. You see them going down. Heaney managing to use her agility to avoid that crash. Referee is going to take a quick look at this replay and see if any disqualifications or penalties, are needed. See Coach Marc-André Manette talking with his skater Sabrina Paul, providing her with some reassurance after that fall. Hopefully no injuries there. The Oval Ice crew works in the corner to make sure the ice is in good shape. So in the previous race, or in this current race, excuse me, Karina Momini has been disqualified for impeding. So she will not restart this race. So we'll have 3 skaters taking part in the reskate. Ricky Doak, Claudia Heaney, and Sabrina Paul all taking the start. Looks like Sabrina Paul feeling a bit injured after that crash, and looks like she is taking it very slowly. So it's only Heaney and Doak really in this race. Sabrina Paul will finish this off, make sure she gets her points. Very slow pace here for these skaters. They'd already raced more than half of the race in the last one. Heaney and Doak. Heaney skating out of the Kitchener-Waterloo Club. Doak skating from New Brunswick, but currently training with the Regional Center in Montreal. Looks like Sabrina Paul has decided to pull into the middle on this race. Clearly that fall affecting her. 4 laps to go. Still Heaney and Doak. And now Doak. Strong move, blowing by Heaney with 2 laps to go. Doak looking comfortable to take this one. 1 lap to go. Doak recovering well from the crash she sustained in the original running of this race. Now we are in the reskate. Doak takes the D final in front of Heaney. So with the completion of that, we move on to our C final, inching ever closer to that all-important A final, the women's race. Women's points are a little bit more spread out than on the men's side. Allison Shaw, Renee Steenge, and Courtney Sarro have each respectively had a first, second, and third place in both of the distances, so they're currently leading the way. Well, we turn our focus to the C final. Got Rosalie Tremblay, Catherine Maillot, Megan Boudria, Jade Quevion, and we also have this race a full start. This time we're away cleanly. Tremblay, Maillot, Boudria, and Quevion. Very slow pace to this race. 19.3 second lap. First one. Pick it up, and now Boudria is going to attack out of the pack. Picking the pace up, moving from third to first. Quevillon moving from fourth to third to second. It's now Boudria, Quevillon, Boudria, or excuse me, Maillot and Tremblay. 5 laps to go. Tremblay into third place. Megan Boudria looking, she's skating a very nice defensive track, nice and tight there. Making sure no one can pass her. Shoulder to shoulder, Quevillon and Tremblay. Quevillon gets sent way wide. Tremblay manages to hang on to make the corner. Quevillon coming back on her, carrying that speed. Boudria continues to lead. Boudria with about a 5-meter lead. Now Quevillon's moved past Tremblay as they take the bell. Megan Boudria looking like she will come around and take the win in this C final. Megan Boudria is our unofficial winner in the C final, which means we're on to the B final. B final will be lots at play here, including a spot in the Super final, Super 15 final coming up. Referees just taking a quick review of that last race. As the referees continue to review the C final video, got the skaters in the B final circling the ice. Coming into these 1,000 finals, Allison Charles leading the overall. Renee Stinge in second, Courtney Sarro in third, Léa Tessier, Danae Blais, Claudia Gagnon, Juliette Brin-d'Amour in positions 4, 5, and 6. So those 3 skaters are in this B final. Léa Tessier, Claudia Gagnon, and Juliette Brin-d'Amour in this B final. Danae Blais in the A final later on. Points quite tight there on the women's side between the 4th and 5th skaters, Léa Tessier and Danae Blais. Only 400 points separate them, so important to get a good result here for Léa Tessier. In the previous race, Jade Quevillon was disqualified or penalized for impeding. So our B final is underway. Currently leading this race, Léa Chamelin-Dusty, followed by Juliette Brindamour, Léa Tessier, Camille Blais. And now moving from the back of the pack, wearing helmet number 1 is Claudia Gagnon as she moves into the front. Juliette Brindamour moving into second. Tessier in third. Gagnon leading this race. Brindamour in second. Now Tessier moving from third to second. Continues to be Claudia Gagnon leading this race. Gagnon currently sitting in 6th position in the overall. Tessier now moving up the inside of the bumped on Gagnon. Juliette Brindamour taking advantage of that. Moving into 2nd position. Brindamour trying to move in front of Tessier. A tight inside pass, and now fighting back is Camille Blais moving into the line. Gagnon hasn't said her last word as she's in a battle for third with Tessier, but it is Camille Blais pulling away slightly with 1 lap to go. Juliette Brindamour in second, Léa Tessier third. Camille Blais leading the way into the final finish stretch. And it is Camille Blais winning this B final. Juliette Brindamour second. Few very tight passes and some contact in that race. So we'll see what the referees have to say about that as we get ready for the A final.
In the previous race, skater number 23 has been penalized for impeding. In the previous race, skater number 23 has been penalized for impeding. Start. Off the line in first place is skater number 4, Courtney Sarro of New Brunswick, followed by helmet number 1, Allison Charles. Allison Charles leading this competition in points with a total of 20,000. That is 2 wins, both one in the 500 and one in the 15. Will she take it in the 1,000? We'll have to wait and see. Leading out the race, it's going to be Courtney Sarro, followed by Allison Charles, and in third place, Danae Blais. Renee Stinge of Ontario sitting patiently in fourth. Skaters coming around into the final 6 laps of racing. Sarro, Charles, Blais, Stinge. By the outside, Allison Charles moving into first place. Courtney Sarro into third, and Renee Stinge into second. It's going to be Charles, Stinge, Blais, Sarro. 1, 2, 3, 4 as skaters come around into the final 3 laps of racing. Charles, Stinge, Blais, 1, 2, 3 with 2 laps to go. Charles, Stinge, Blais, 1, 2, 3 entering into the final lap of racing. There is no change in position. Will Renee challenge? And Stinge crossing the line. It is too close to call, with quite a bit of action there in the last half lap of racing. Without a doubt, this race will be under review. In the previous race, skater number 11, Allison Charles, has been penalized for impeding. In the previous race, skater number 11, Allison Charles, has been penalized for impeding. Pénalité à la patineuse numéro 11, Allison Charles. Pénalité à la patineuse numéro 11, Allison Charles.
They're underway for the 2-man race here in the men's D final. We've got Vincent Bedard and Charles-Étienne Nadeau. Had a bit of mic difficulty there in the A final, so Hayden Mayer took over for me. Exciting race. Did manage to speak with Danae Blais at the end. She wasn't sure who got it at the line. We also did have a penalty to Allison Charles for impeding at the end. As this race continues on, we're just waiting to get confirmation on the winner of the A final in the women's race. So 3.5 laps to go for Vincent Bedard and Charles-Étienne Nadeau. Bedard continuing to lead. Nadeau in second as they'll take the bell. And at the line, it looks like it will be Nadeau. Sorry, Bedard, Nadeau, 1 and 2. So we move on to the C final, the men's race. Moving into the C final, 5 skaters on the line. Francis Dumichel wearing helmet cover number 1. Marco Schumann of Saskatchewan wearing number 2. Marc-Antoine Lemay wearing 3. Brendan Yamada wearing 4. Guillaume Dion wearing helmet number 5. Very important race here for Marco Schumann, as he needs to take as many points as he can if he wants to hope to qualify for the super final 1,500 meters. Yamada currently in the lead. Now it's Dumichel moving up. Schumann in second. 5 laps to go. Coming around the outside, that is Marc-Antoine Lemay. Schumann defending his spot well, though Dumichel continues to lead. 4 laps to go for these skaters. Pace picking up now. Schumann got caught up on the outside, but now hooking to the inside. Marco Schumann. Bit of contact there between the 2 Quebec skaters. They go out the back. It is Marco Schumann followed by Francis Dumichel. 2.5 laps to go. Brendan Yamada now closing back up and moving into 3rd place right with everybody else. So they will come around here. 1 lap to go for Marco Schumann, followed by Francis Dumichel. Brendan Yamada. Schumann has got to go all the way to the line with Dumichel right behind him, and at the line will be unofficially Marco Schumann, taking the win in that C final. So we move directly on to the A final. No B final, as it's only Felix Chemay in that B final, so he will automatically be awarded the 6th place points. Jordan Pierre Gilles, who was disqualified for kicking out, would have also been in the B final, but since he's penalized, he does not get the race, so he'll take the 7th place points. We are now set for our A final. On lane number 1, wearing helmet cover number 1 and leading the race in the overall standings right now, Marc-Olivier Lemay. Lane number 2, representing Ontario, Gibson Imbo. Lane number 3, skating out of the Olympic Oval, representing Quebec, it's Vincent Girard. In lane number 4, representing Ontario, in the red helmet cover, Alexander Hale. And fifth on the line, representing Quebec, David Lahou. And we're underway here in our A final. Gibson Imbeau out to a quick start. Deciding to take it out very quickly here. Imbeau stringing it out already about a 5 to 10 meter lead. Marc-Olivier Lemay in charge of bringing them back. Girard currently sitting in third. Alexander Hale in fourth. Interesting strategy here by Gibson Imbeau. Don't see this type of thing that often. Lemay has now closed down the gap as the pack comes back together. 8.7 second lap there for Imbeau. Pace is absolutely smoking. We'll see definitely a quick time in this race. Imbeau is still in the lead. No change in position so far. Imbeau, Lemay, Girard, Hale, and Larue. Now Marc-Olivier Lemay moving into the lead. Imbeau looking like his early hard pace is starting to tie up his legs as he grimaces hard. Girard in third, holding off Hale, but now with Imbeau running out of steam, it's creating a tight pack behind as Olivier Lemay pulls away from the others. Imbeau barely holding on as Lactic comes up as he continues to shut down and play defense. My goodness, what a brave race here by Gibson Imbeau as they take the bell. Marc-Olivier Lemay running away with this one. Alexander Hale on the outside. Imbeau running out of steam. It will be Alexander Hale coming through in second. Marc-Olivier Lemay taking the win. Unofficially, it's Lemay, Hale, Imbeau, Girard, and Larue. We'll have to see. The referees want to look at this one. I believe it looks like it's going to be a clean race. So we have our winner, Marc-Olivier Lemay. Unfortunately, due to the mic problems, won't be able to get down and get an interview with the winner, Marc-Olivier Lemay, but you can see him leaning on the boards, completely out of breath. That was a very fast race for those boys, so I'm sure the interview would have involved a lot of heavy breathing and not a lot of words, so checking out the points so far. If you just bear with me for a second, I will try to get out some unofficial point totals so we can see where we stand heading into the super final. So as it stands right now, looks like Marc-Olivier Lemay is our runaway leader so far, sitting on 25,120 points. Gibson Imbeau currently sitting on 16,789. Jordan Pierre-Gilles, 13,699. Actually, I think Jordan Pierre-Gilles actually on 13,404. Maxime Raymond Staya on 13,120. Alexander Hale, fifth right now, 12,546. Marco Schumann, sixth right now at 11,443. So it would appear that our A final, of course, this is all unofficial. It would appear that our A final for the men on the Super 15 will be composed of Marco Schumann, Alexander Hale, Max Raymond Staya, Jordan Pierre-Gilles, Gibson Imbeau, and Marc-Olivier Lemay. So I am still waiting on the men or on the women's official results, but I have in front of me the sheet for the men's. So we did have Marc-Olivier Lemay first, Alexander Hale second, Gibson Aimbo was third, Vincent Girard was fourth, and David Larue was fifth. So it looks like it will be Marc-Olivier Lemay, Gibson Aimbo, Jordan Pierre-Gilles, Maxime Raymond Staya, Alexander Hale, and Marco Schumann in the men's super final, super 1500 meter final.